because that's how they treat you. When people reject you, it's just like that. When they fling you, make sure you stay flung, just flung away. Look, rejection is not fun. I hate being rejected, but I have learned to accept it because it's part of life. Even though we know it's part of life, it doesn't make it easier to go through the motions. Just because I've accepted it doesn't mean that when I am rejected, it's not hurtful, okay? It's part of life. Everyone goes through it. It's not the end of the world. It cannot kill you. Even though you feel as though your heart is beating out of your chest, you are not going to die. If anything, it's your cortisol hormones making your chest feel like it's about to break. That's what's happening. It's not that person who just rejected you that's making you feel as though you was gonna die. You are not going to die. But I've been there before where I felt like I was gonna die. That's why I want to remind someone of 3 things that you absolutely cannot forget when you have been rejected. First of all, if you've been rejected, hug. Rejection sucks. It really does suck. So here's a cyber hug for you to just push through this rejection. And then I have these 3 gems to help you, empower you so that you don't sink deeper than you already are. So if that's something you want to know more about, then please hit that like button and hit the subscribe button as well and come join the family. Alright, let's get right into it. If you're being rejected now, it doesn't mean that you will always be rejected in the future. Okay? I need you to remember that. You know, we are wired for love. We're wired to feel accepted, to feel loved by people and admired, if anything, needed and wanted, and you know, feel like you're important to someone. So for someone to slap that back in your face can be a hard pill to swallow. Sometimes we can get carried away in our grief and feel like, you know, the whole world is against us, especially when someone we love, you just get a no. And all of a sudden you feel like your whole world is over. It's easy to believe that just because you've been rejected right now, you will always be rejected. And then for sometimes you can even become a self-fulfilling prophecy if you have that kind of mindset that just because I got a no now, I'll always get a no. So even when you get a no, unrelated, you're gonna pile it up and start thinking, oh, maybe I'm just not worthy, and that can affect your self-esteem. So the first thing I want to remind you is that just because they've rejected you doesn't mean that you're always going to be rejected. Okay, you are going to level up. Okay, you are going to level up this 2020. So check out my 2020 is not cancelled video. I'm going to link it up in the cards so that you can feel empowered. Okay, so that's the first thing I want you to remember. Do not forget that, like, ever. The second thing is sometimes when we're rejected, we feel as though there's something wrong with us. That's why we were rejected, or there's something in us that we need to change. Okay, there's 2 parts to this. There is nothing wrong with you in terms of there was nothing you could have done differently to, let's say, save that relationship. You did your best. You don't have to go and change your lips, your bum, your eyes, your cheeks, your boobs, just to be accepted by someone. So whatever flimsy excuse that someone gave you to reject you, that is their excuse. It has nothing to do with you. So I don't want you to put it in your head that there's something wrong with you. That's why you've been rejected. Because once you put that mindset in your head, you will literally be walking around in this world thinking that you're not good enough and there's something wrong with you, and then you need to change something in order to be accepted. Now the second part is maybe whilst you're in your healing process, so you know, you're self-reflecting on, let's say, the relationship or the friendship or the bad interview that you just come back from, you're reflecting on that. And maybe there are things that you, okay, not someone, you have reflected on, and you've become aware that actually maybe I can change the way I talk, or maybe I can become a little bit more patient, or maybe I can become a little bit kinder and gentle, but that needs to come from you. There isn't anything wrong with you, but you can always improve yourself for yourself, okay? So you're not doing it to attract them again. You have done the self-reflection job, looked into yourself, and you've changed your mindset, and you've put an action plan in place to change your behavior for yourself, just so that you can improve your future. Okay, so that's that. I hope I have explained this well. And the third thing, which is kind of in line with what I've just spoken about, is sometimes when you're rejected, you always want to try again, you know, try to get the person who's rejected you to change their mind or change their decision. Please don't do that. Don't do that, because if they reject you again, that's like two blows. And that will be even worse than had you stayed somewhere else. So don't do that. The reason why you don't want to do that is convincing someone to accept you is a tedious job. You will never graduate from that job. You will constantly be having to prove yourself for them to accept you. So if they reject you now, in all your glory, with all your flaws, just accept it, work on yourself, boss up, level up, and go. Okay? Don't go back to them that, oh, let me do this a little bit different and then you're gonna want me. Or even when you change, don't do it necessarily for them. Again, you're doing it for you. If you're doing it for them, then go back into their arms. Like, what are you doing, sis? What are you doing, bro? No. Learning to accept and respect someone's decision is a skill that you need to learn right now. So use this rejection that you're experiencing right now as practice, okay? Do not go back. Accept and respect their decision, because who knows, in the future, you might be in a position to reject someone else. And the last thing you want, when you've made your mind up, for someone to come back and beg for their place in your life, okay? So learn to respect people's decisions towards you without really harboring any resentment. You just have to accept it and respect it. So overall, rejection isn't fun, but life still goes on. And if anything, if you look at this as an opportunity, as a learning curve, then trust me, your comeback will be way bigger than your setback. For me, for example, I remember when I gathered the courage to text someone that, you know, I'm starting to feel a little bit rejected, blah, blah, blah. I never thought in my life that I would ever feel this way, blah, blah, blah. Can you imagine what this person responded? They responded with, actually, you made a grammatical error over here, and sent me the grammatical correction. That's what they sent me. So I'm here with a broken heart, opening up to someone, and they are correcting my English. That's what they're concerned about. You see where people put their priorities. So once I kick them off that pedestal, like flick, because that's how they treat you when people reject you. It's just like that. When they fling you, make sure you stay flung, just flung away. Don't come back to reside in their nose or reside in their bosom or in their heart. Go and live your life, okay? You are better off without them. I feel like getting to the end of the video, I started to gather the momentum. It's been a long day already, but hopefully I've been able to speak to you. Hopefully I've been able to encourage someone that, you know, it's not the end of the world, okay? Even if in your heart you feel like this is the end of the world, it is not. I'm telling you that you will bounce back. If you want, go and check my breakup video, I believe. I'll link it down below or in my cards, where I give you the science behind heartbreaks, so you know what's happening with your dopamine and your cortisol hormones, and why your chest is feeling like it's ripping out of your why your heart is ripping out of your chest. I apologize. Check it out, and then you will understand that, it's my body, I'm not actually about to die. So rejection cannot kill you, so don't let it kill you. Okay, check out my other videos, and obviously if you enjoyed this video, please like and comment down below how you deal with rejection to help someone else out. Thank you so much. Until next time, take care and God bless. Bye bye.